Your basics for a 2-point perspective will have you starting with the first point, or the only point in this case, that touches the picture plane. That point gives us our one line, which we call our true length line, where the corner of our house that we're going to draw that hits our picture plane there is the only line in our drawing which is going to be its true length. We project that straight down. Note that it's got nothing to do with our standing point. It's not in line with the standing point or anything like that. The standing point generally does get given in line with that point, but it is not a rule at all. We then take the height of the wall that we are looking for, which touches our picture plane there, project that height across onto our true length line, and that is the first line that we can start with now, which of course is the side of our wall. Using that true length line, we can create a box for the entire drawing. If we project the height, the highest point of our drawing from the view that's been given on the side across, and then project that height across to our vanishing point on both sides, so to our right hand vanishing point and to our left hand vanishing points. We do the same thing with the point that touched, or that is touching right at the bottom of our ground line. And then if we take the points from the very outside of our top view, those four corners, and we project them in the direction of our SP till they hit our picture plane, we can then use those corners to draw out a box which we know that our drawing will have to fit into. Those two lines that I've just projected down now, they of course represent those two corners as they've come down into our drawing. And then if we take where that corner has been brought down and hits into our line which we projected across to our vanishing point here for the highest point of our drawing, and we can project that across to our vanishing point in that direction, and the same from this side, and we should get a point which lies perfectly on the line which would have been projected here and then down, and that then forms a box which you can clearly see, and we're going to complete our drawing inside of that box. Now to complete our walls, we know the height of the first wall which we projected from that view straight across onto our true length line. We'll take that height and we will project that across to our vanishing point. That of course then will give us the height of that wall on the end over here, in line with this corner of our house, to indicate where that corner will rise up to. And we can then go and draw that line in dark. We'll then do the same thing on the right hand side over here by taking that point also to our vanishing point on the right hand side, and again that shows us where this corner is going to rise up to, so we can go and draw that line in dark, which then allows us to draw in our two base lines in dark, because we now know where they are going to end. Okay, now for the roof. For the roof part over here, because the roof point, which is that point there in our top view, sits directly on this line, there's no need for any other method to be used. We can simply go and take the height of our roof, which we find here, project it straight across onto our true length line, which we've already done. And then you'll see that these heights here, which we've drawn across to complete our box, that of course are the height lines for our roof. So all we need to do now is go and find our roof point, which is that one there, on one of those lines. So we take our roof point in the direction of our standing point till it touches our picture plane, and then we project that. Let's do the other one as well, the other roof line. And then we take both of those points and we project them straight down. And then you'll see now this first point here in front, as projected down, will come and hit into that height line that we drew, this height line here, which of course belongs to our roof. And there's our roof. So our roof point has been taken across onto our true length line, from our true length line through to our vanishing point, and then with this point of our roof being taken in the direction of our SP and down, that gets us the correct height for our roof. And if we project that through to our vanishing point on the right hand side over here, if we were accurate, you'll find that that will be our roof line, which will then end directly in line, of course, with that corner, which shows us exactly where our roof is meant to stop when it's been projected down. Then all we have to do is go and join those two roof lines down to the corners that they're supposed to meet with, and that completes our roof. Then most importantly, the roof of our door over there, which you can see here, as well as those two little lines that I've included to indicate the door. You'll see that that door is slightly lower than the roof, and it's really important that the height of that door is found correctly, that the height of the door is taken and projected across onto our true length line, which is over to there, and then from that point, to make sure that our door height is found correctly on this face of our house, we need to make sure that we then take that height line and we project it up to our vanishing point. That line there is now the correct height line for the top of our door, and we can take the two door points in our top view in the direction of our SP, and then of course onto our picture plane. And where those 2 points hit our picture plane, we project them down, and that of course gives us the two sides of our door. And then you can clearly see the two sides of our door and the height that they're supposed to go up to. So we can just go and draw in our door to the correct height. The classic mistake that's made is that people take the height of the door straight across, and they would then say that the height of the door is meant to be directly there, which of course is not the case. You'll see that if that is done, that gets you a very incorrect height, and the correct height of course is further up, and that's from taking the height of your door across onto your true length line, from the true length line to your vanishing point, so that your height line is now on the correct side or correct face of what you're trying to draw. And there's one line that needs to be drawn in to conclude this drawing, which is the edge of the roof, and then we're complete.